Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Um, Today is the 29th of January 2014. So, tomorrow's going to be a new moon. So, what that means is this January we've had a new moon the 1st, and now we're having a new moon the 30th. So, it's basically a reverse psychology of like the moon cycles of like what you call a blue moon. New moons that happen on the same month twice is extremely rare. I mean, to the point where I didn't even realize this till like today, because I was looking on my calendar. I was like, wow, wait a minute, two new moons? It just doesn't make any sense. So, and it lands on a Thursday. So a Thursday pretty much is a depiction of Jupiter and like my last recording or maybe two recordings back, I was talking about like how this year is going to reflect on Jupiter. And Jupiter has a lot of power. Well, I don't want to say power because power's a like a manipulated force, but I want to say gifts of you really like if you're really trying to start a new career, it could elevate it to the extreme. All right. So I mean it's a really good deal right now. I mean I really don't know what's gonna happen this year anymore. Like this year's been up and down already, and it's only been a month. And it just seems to me, for my case, it seems like everything is happening extremely fast within not just even in days anymore. It's just like information just coming like doom 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 doom, to the point where I'm like, I don't know if it's happening towards everybody else. I ask people that I know, because sometimes us as healers and stuff, we kind of have a different accumulation of time frame, and we see reality in a different angle versus other people that are just and I'm not trying to put anybody down here. I mean everybody has their gifts. If you're a good singer, if you're an actor, if you create things, if you're a poet, if you're whatever you are, everybody's different on this plane. And I'm seeing a dramatic change right now. I'm seeing like I really don't want to get too in depth with what I'm about to say, but I'm about to acclaim it. We're getting in depth with help from another source, and I'll just leave that at that. Those out there that are like kind of like star seeds, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And I never thought like I was okay. I've been researching this for a while now, maybe a couple years, maybe 3-4 years, and this whole 2012 thing it's coming to the abundance of like, okay, like what's happening is happening. And at first, okay, it sounded like a wives' tale, like it's just another lie, it's another flaw. No, this is really going down. I mean, there's so much I could say right now. Some of it I'm gonna hold back because I mean I don't want to get too much attention here. I mean I'm getting attention as it is. Us as star seeds, we were kind of probably followed. And know that. And I'm pretty sure you guys out there that are pretty much feel what I am saying. So you have a high sensibility. You kind of sense that there's something wrong, and it's been happening for a while now, and now it's coming to the point where they're kind of losing their time frame. The time frame's depleted. It's over. It's done. It's a done deal. And we're going to move forward. Hopefully, we're going to move forward. There's a lot of stuff we have to reverse. And I don't know if it's going to happen. It should happen. But anyways, I'm going to touch on a lot of subjects today, alright? Today's going to be like one of those lectures where I'm just going to be everywhere. Okay, President Obama, a couple days back. Those out there that are healers, okay, what is your focus on the legalization of marijuana in the United States, okay? Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? It's not, in my perspective, it's not a bad thing because it does a whole lot of stuff, alright? Okay, my parents' generation was blinded thinking it's a bad thing, alright? My parents' generation was the same deal. Like, they kind of looked at it as like a drug. But what's worse? Think about this much, right? What's worse? Medical prescription drugs that make you have... Okay, check this out. Just think about this much. the economy kind of runs off of a lot of different a lot of different things that kind of is bad for everybody's health. All right, if it's not fast food, if it's not freaking you getting prescribed to a certain medication and then you get a counteraction of that medication, you have to take another medication, then it's a downfall from that point on. All right, so I see that a lot, and like to me, for the for okay, us as a human race, we've been using. I don't want to say drugs, because when you say drugs, people start looking at it like, oh, it's a bad thing. I want to say, okay, like I even got an argument maybe a couple weeks back with one of my good friends, because he's from India, his family's from India, and I really respect that heritage a lot. They're a lot like my heritage. We kind of go hand in hand, but it's kind of funny because I consider vitamins and certain mild hallucinative how could I say it, like plants that we've always ingested throughout history that all of a sudden became forbidden. Why is that? You got to question that. Why is all of a sudden, like the past maybe 3,000 years before, like now all of a sudden, like, oh, that's forbidden, that's, if you do that, that's wrong, you're inclining yourself towards a demonological like perspective towards your intersect, or it's like something negative, it's something going against like what we've been taught, what I've been taught, what I'm pretty sure you guys have been taught. Like, everybody's been taught, but if you really look at it at a broad perspective, a different angle, if you're taught and you believe just because you were raised or whatever in a certain way, I mean, that's all fine and dandy. I mean, I'm not really the whole broad perspective of everything, as far as like religious beliefs, everything in general. All right, like I kind of get angry because like a lot of people they shut themselves down, like they don't open themselves up to like something that's more real, just more natural, not so much controlled. Okay, like we've been controlled for a while now, and now it's coming towards a depletion. Like I said a couple minutes back, like, and I never thought I would see this in my lifetime. I've always like, it's like the same deal. Like when you're taught a certain thing, you kind of don't even believe it, but you believe it because you're taught it. Like you're just okay, like Christianity thing or whatever you're raised upon of believing. It's kind of like it's kind of like a folklore tale. Like, okay, like yeah, you've been taught a certain way, but at the same time, do you even see like everything you've kind of been taught is from the past, and it's like, okay, like once you start seeing reality as reality, it becomes unreality, and like they're throwing everything at us, and like I said, like now it's the depletion era of like, okay, everything is about to change, and I see it, and to me it's amazing. To me it's a really good deal, and like I said, this lecture is going everywhere, but at the same time, if you really think about what I'm seeing right now, it's a blessing. There's gonna be a major breakthrough, and it's happening behind the scenes. It's not happening like broadcasting. It's not, oh, this is gonna happen. Every crookedness, systematical way of like perceiving your reality and a default is coming towards an end. Alright, so I know that's gonna kind of be hard to understand, but at the same time, I've been lecturing maybe 4 months now, 5 months, and the people I've been connecting with is really good. I mean, I'm meeting a lot of high spiritual people, and it's a really good deal because there's others out there like me, and that's a really good deal because I know I'm sane as hell, and I say hell, I mean that's just a term we use out here in the West, California. I know I'm pertaining myself as being like the extremely sanable type of person, and like what I see is like not dramatic change in a bad way, like a really good way. and there's just so much I could say right now. There's just been so much going on the past like just couple days. I'm just like really like mind boggled. Like okay, like this okay. Like oh, 2 lectures back I said it was like maybe it's gonna be a bad year, like severe weather. It probably is gonna be severe weather, but it's not. It's not necessarily gonna be a bad year as far as you going through like dramatic things. Yeah, like right now we're kind of chopping up the old school frame in every single angle. Like the old school control factor is depleted now, and there's nothing that the elite group could do about it anymore. And they're pissed off because even people like me speaking right now, I was scared to even talk like this a couple months back because I was thinking to myself, okay, like I don't want to get taken out. I don't want to disappear. I don't want to freaking, But honestly, like now, I'm starting to see that even that sect of power is, diminished. We're actually having human rights again. This hasn't happened for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. This has not happened. I mean, I don't know if I'm right. I'm looking back like 9,000 years. I mean, to me, that's a big deal. I don't know if it is towards anybody out there, like seeing me. But I'm seeing it, and like it's a dream come true. Like I mean, I've researched the subject so much that I've heard different scenarios all everywhere, going up and down, saying this is gonna happen, this what might happen, this is really real, this is real reality, and you're slowly seeing it in a different angle. You're not really being fed the way you thought you were gonna be fed the information, but at the same time, it's happening, and it's just kind of crazy that it's being done behind the scenes. And man, it's already 11 minutes going through. Crazy. So I mean, I wanted to keep this lecture a little bit like short, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things happening right now behind the scenes, and there's a lot of individuals that are kind of holding their empowerment to the fullest, and it shouldn't even be that way at all. And we're being helped, which is a good thing, by influences by a higher realm, way higher up there. And I just can't really I just give thanks because it's just before, like, I thought it was just gonna be totally annihilation. We're not gonna have we're gonna have less and less rights, but now I'm starting to see different, and it's a good thing. Okay, the next holiday, Valentine's, coming up. A lot of you out there, don't get down. I mean, it's stupid to me. It keeps the economy going. That's the first major holiday is Valentine's Day. Yeah, if you have a spouse, or if you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, don't let that drag you down. I mean, that's just stupid. I heard somebody that I really respect a lot talk about, I know a lot of you out there are gonna be depressed at this time of year. No, don't even think that way. I mean, come on, think about it really, logically. Like, you gotta find ways to motivate yourself to keep going, but at the same time, you don't really necessarily need somebody else to make you happy. If you're a true one, you can make yourself happy. But me, myself, I'm yearning for that love too, and I think I know who you are out there, and I think you know who I am, and I'm just not gonna shoot the shit anymore. I mean, I don't know. I mean, love is like the most complex thing as far as we know it, but at the same time, don't get down and out because you don't have a Valentine's this year. Don't do that. It's just stupid. It's shooting yourself in the foot. Who I'm thinking about right now, you're really highly intellect. You know what's up. I mean, I'm not as good as a healer as you are, and it's kind of crazy because I'll think something, and it's just like, okay, like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, like how my psychic realm is psychic in a certain way. Other people have other gifts of like being psychic in a different type of realm of like, I just can't really explain it, but like, you kind of, I don't know, you just, when you open up yourself to the universe, you kind of like start seeing things in a different way, and it's kind of scary sometimes because it's like, man, you could really, some individuals out there could really just know your true thought. Like, I can't. I mean, I can't do that. I'm just gonna be real. I can't know somebody's like from. I'm over here in Cali and somebody else is like somewhere else, and to me that's kind of scary. But hey, you want to know what? I always thought like, okay, like being a psychic, you have to be close to the person. But I guess that doesn't really right. I mean, if you're anywhere across the world, I guess you could pick up on the person that you're thinking about, their mood swings or their you know, what they're feeling, what they're sensing, what they're thinking. That's a gift right there, man. I mean, I'm gifted in different ways and stuff because, you know, I'm male versus female. So I mean, I think you females out there have a better perspective of like reading us, and it kind of makes me it's kind of scary sometimes because it's like, wow, are you gonna really know everything? Like really know? Wow, it's kind of funny. So anyways, like I said, this lecture was gonna go everywhere. A lot of current events happening. Like I said, new moon tomorrow. There's a new moon the 1st. So I don't know what they call that. I haven't really researched that, but I mean it's gonna fall on a Thursday, so that's a day of Jupiter. So that's a day of like, you know, anybody that put their work out towards spell work. You know, I mean, it's magical this year. I feel it. I sense it. This year is gonna be like one of those years. It's gonna be an extreme year. It might be like back in the day, like 2004, like yeah, 10 years back. It's kind of weird because like when I first started being awakened, it slowly started happening, but at the same time it didn't amplify the way it did like maybe 2 years back. 2 years back for me was just like the cutting cusp of it. Or actually 3 years back. 2011 was like the amplified year for me to really start being awake. And those out there that know what awakening means, you guys know exactly what I mean. You go through that phase and you start seeing everything, like, and then stuff starts happening so frequently, and then you'll be asleep and you'll dream of something, and then it'll happen the next day. You're like, really? I mean, to me that's kind of scary. It's not scary anymore, but it was scary. But once you start getting used to it, like anything else, you kind of become accommodated towards it, and you kind of enjoy like just having, you know, this whole track that I made is pretty sick. But yeah, it's kind of crazy sometimes if you think about the story. I watched The Passion of Christ the other day, and it kind of made me realize again, because I was on Netflix and I was like, I clicked on this one, or actually I tried to find this one video, and The Passion of Christ came up, and I was like, I haven't seen it for a while, so I clicked on it, watched it, and it's just kind of crazy like how it went down. Like, it's just, I could kind of see that happening like right now. It probably is gonna happen right now, and they're probably gonna try to find an individual that's gonna be doing his work and stuff like that. But you know, Yahshua's Ben Joseph, he was a humble person, and like, man, just seeing that brutal beating that he got, like, whew, man, that's horrible. That's just, how are you gonna do that to a prophet? It's really detonating. It's really sad. So, but I just wanted to cast this video out there. Hopefully everybody's doing good out there. Like I said, tomorrow's gonna be the new moon, second new moon of this month. So I forget what they call that. There's a name for it. It's not a blue moon, obviously, because it's not, you know, luminous. It's dark. So whoa, yeah, dark is not really that bad, anyways. It's like just taking away like your negatives, taking away like all the flaws and swooping them all away. And like honestly, it like I said, a Thursday, so that's a good deal for anybody trying to change their career path or trying to gain how could I say it, just gain whatever steps they're trying to create of as far as like their career paths. So it's like Jupiter's a strong planet. It's a gas planet. What is gas compressed of? Like your lung, like your respiratory system. And if you don't have that, then your brain can't function. Everything it's correspondence, but your respiratory system, that's a big deal. So I'm gonna cast this out, and I don't know what's gonna happen this year. I mean, now I'm starting to think about it rationally, and I'm like, I mean, before it was rationalized, but those out there that are healers, sometimes you kind of get an abundance of energy, and you're just like, wow, you don't know what to do with it. So Valentine's Day, like I said, going back, Valentine's Day, don't, those out there tripping about it, don't trip about it, because there's somebody out there for you. Trust me, he knows it, and I think you know it too. And it's just kind of scary sometimes. If you know certain things, you just question, like, is this really real? Is this reality? I mean, could this really be real? I think it could be really real, and I'll just cast this out and let you know what I meant by that. And hopefully everybody is blessed on this year, and I love everybody as one. Trust me, believe you that. All right. Oh man, this is a really good song right here. Crosses. It's by one of my mentors. Okay, let me just give you a interlog of like what I was trying to do before all this stuff started. I wanted to be a lead singer for a rock band, and like I was a really good poet, and it didn't really fall. It didn't really happen because there was a lot of politics at the time when I was like, you know, in my early 20s and stuff. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I have a really good voice. I mean, I do. But at the same time, I'm not trying to brag about it. I just, you know, you just know what you're good at, and you know, it's just kind of sad, like how everything's dying out as far as music. Like, we still got good music, but at the same time, people like Chino Moreno from the Deftones, he's creating a new adversary, and it's called Crosses, and it's off of Sumerian Records, and which they're doing all their work in Sumeria. Why is that? I could bet that you could probably like guess why they're doing it out there. So, but really good vocalist. He was one of my mentors. Him, Maynard from Tool. Tool's an extremely good, really good group. Probably the best in my generation, in the '90s. You know, the '90s was my era. Crazy '80s, late crazy '80s, early '90s and stuff. So, you know, I'm in my 30s. So I may not look like it, but I am. And just give a little insight towards individuals out there that I really want you to know me. All right, and I'm a real person. I'm not phony. I'm not a fake person. I stick to my guideline when I'm dedicated. All right, so Valentine's Day, don't trip about it. All right, you got somebody out there. All right, so don't even trip. If you don't even know that person yet, then you're gonna know him or know her. All right, so love everybody as one and the universe as a whole. All right, Yahin here. I'll be posting soon. God bless. Let the light shine upon your soul and reflect it towards who you can. All right.